A visit to a gallery not far from his London home introduced then Prince Charles to the work of an Australian landscape artist. 2 decades on, Warwick Fuller has again been invited to join King Charles as the official artist for his Australian tour.
In the art world, Warwick Fuller is royalty, chosen by the world's most famous family to capture the beauty of places the royals visit on tour.
Pure excitement, yeah. Well, my 4th tour, you could say I'm an old hand.
A tiny gallery in Katoomba in New South Wales' Blue Mountains might be the last place you'd expect to find a friend of King Charles III. Lost Bear Gallery is where Warwick Fuller's paintings of the vast and inspiring Australian bush are proudly on display. For awestruck gallery goers, these charming landscapes trigger emotions. Warwick's brushstrokes draw them out.
I love this little painting here. It's not got a lot in it, but I just love the feeling of that last bit of sun just catching the top of the bulrushes and the quietness of day coming on.
His paintings can take you anywhere. It's hard not to get lost in them. This one, called Blue Plateau, a giant 200 by 400 centimetre masterpiece. If you look closely, you can even see the sulphur-crested cockatoos in the distance. It's work like this that's earned Warwick a spot on the King's entourage, His Majesty's official royal tour artist.
In a letter he wrote to me some time ago from the last tour, he said if you could stand to come on one more tour, but I'm thrilled to be given the opportunity, the honour of being able to travel with him.
Warwick joined the then Prince of Wales when he visited Australia in 2012, 2015 and 2018. He says he's well prepared for the military precision of royal tour timing.
I've been given a booklet and it's got everything that happens down to the last minute. And I've got to follow that and I've got to keep up with it. It's just a moving organism that waits for nobody.
The landscape painter says fleeting light creates daily deadlines.
I've painted many pictures where I've painted before sunrise and it's got to be finished before the sun comes up, otherwise it changes totally. And so I've got no option. I've got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and that's it. And it's the same on a tour. If I'm still working and I know that I've got 7 minutes before that entourage leaves, well, I've got to be in that car or else I'm thumbing a ride to the airport.
It's during these royal tours Warwick formed a connection with the King.
One of my loveliest conversations with the King was when I was invited to his room before he departed from Cairns on the last tour. And I came into his rooms and his man put sandwiches out and there was a pot of tea there and he left and the two of us just sat and talked for about 20 minutes. It was amazing. And while we talked, he poured me a cup of tea, which is to me an amazing thing to think that the King Charles III, has poured me a cup of tea.
Most of Warwick's inspiration comes from his home in the Blue Mountains. On the balcony, with dog Huey, he shared handwritten personal letters from King Charles.
He writes more beautifully and personally and heartfelt than some of my friends would. You know, and somebody that
he shows
the other side of the world.
Genuine care for you in these letters.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Warwick is humble. It's easy to see why the King took a liking to him.
His handwriting's quite shocking.
Hey, you can't say that.
I can't. I can. Maybe you can't. But I love that you've had it transcribed here. And my favourite part is just a little bit down the bottom. Can you read that out?
Which is, incidentally, entirely in confidence. It looks as though we may be going to Australia in coming November this year. So this is just an advanced warning in case you could bear the thought of coming with us again for a little light painting around the bazaars. I will fully understand if the whole thing would be too much for a second time. We both send you our warmest and heartfelt good wishes and much admiration. Yours ever, Charles.
So you couldn't turn it down after he wrote that to you?
Could not, would not anyway.
The King and Queen each year send Warwick a Christmas card.
Sounds like you do have quite a nice relationship there, even a friendship.
Yeah, well, maybe a genuine friendship. I'd like to think that, and it feels that way. But I only see him every few years or every couple of years, and a couple of communications in between. But yeah, I certainly feel as though there's something special there for him to invite me back again. As it's an indication that he does hold me in some esteem, I guess. Yes.
And for good reason. He's a very talented artist. And of course, Warwick will be right by the King's side during his tour, which officially gets underway on Monday. Quite the honour.